Fort Smith police are warning residents to stay alert after a surge in black bear sightings across the area. Officers say they received at least 10 calls over the weekend. The department says if you see a bear, keep your distance, never approach or feed it. Police are working with Arkansas Game and Fish to monitor the situation. If a bear is spotted within city limits, call the non-emergency number. It's right there on your screen, 479-709-5000.
Shalom. I'm going to start this off by giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Baruch HaKodash, double honor salutations, peace and blessings to the enlightenment of Israel, starting with the elder apostles and the bishops, the great millstone church, on down to the rest of you brothers and the brothers that I labor with, who all push forth the will and doctrine of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, in all faith, truth, and sincerity, according to the true understanding of the scriptures. To all of you, I say Shalom. This is a quick lesson. I've seen this through the Spirit that came up on my For You page, and it was interesting seeing it, because it's completely what the scriptures talk about, so I just wanted to use this moment to bring out the Lord's word, and in the video they went on to mention, this being like a non-emergency, right? But everybody, that's invested in this world, in this life, that Esau Edom has set up, the so-called white man, right? The wicked has set up to where, they gonna take this at face value, or they gonna neglect this or ignore this, and they not gonna pay attention to the signs and wonders that the Lord, has being shown, right? Because these are signs showing how we getting closer to the end of this world and the world to come, right along, with it, right after it, because once this world ends, there's another world coming, it's the world of Israel, right? The world where we're put back right, and all the beasts and everything within the earth and this world is put back right, in the right state, in the right in the right places, So jumping straight into this, this ain't to be along with it, just something quick. This is Second Esdras 5 and verse 8. It says, "There shall be a confusion also in many places." It says, "And the fire shall be oft sent out again," and it's the point right here. "And the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters." Right? Now, this is exactly what we're gonna start seeing, right? And we're starting to see it right now. You see a lot of animals coming out of their places, when shit hits the fan, and everything all hell breaking loose, right? The animals ain't gonna be they not gonna be in the forest. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be completely out of their places amongst the streets. It's gonna be real Jumanji like, but 144, times, higher than that, greater than that. Because that's just a movie depicted from Esau's mind. You know what I'm saying? But how much more the Lord, right? And that's why I pair that verse with this, right? This is Amos 5, and I'm gonna start at 18, and the point is in verse 19, which it says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." You see, and we're ever so so much so closely getting closer to the day of the Lord, right? And it says, as if, verse 19 is the point, "As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him." You see? And it's gonna be like this, because it's gonna be a moment where you getting caught up with destruction, through your peace and safety, and you know neglecting these things that are written of the Lord. You know, all these fake bullshit Christians, they don't truly understand the scriptures and don't know what the Lord coming with. They think it's some blonde hair, blue eye, you know what I'm saying, white dude named Jesus Christ, and that's not even his name, nor his image, his depiction, right? But on top of that, they think it's some dude that's just coming with some peace, man, all love, you know, like the peace sign, and that's not the case at all. You know, the Lord, he coming with destruction. He wish his place was already burning, so he coming with fire. You know, and that's why the scriptures talk about that, right? Grab that real quick. I know there's like two scriptures that talk about that, right? Let's get this. First Thessalonians 5 and verse 3. And the other one I was thinking of is in I believe that is that's Sirach, the fifth chapter. I think it is. We talk about that sudden destruction. But grabbing this, it says First Thessalonians 5 and 3. It's the point. It says, "For when they shall say," actually, let me see if I can start up. Yeah, you know what? That's what we're gonna do because it's further added to what was said in that Amos 5, right, in 19. You know, talking about the day of the Lord, or verse 18 and 19. But it says, starting at the top, First Thessalonians 5 and 1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai so cometh as a thief in the night, right? And what does that look like? A thief in the night, right? Nighttime is when you got your guard down, you asleep. You know, that's why thieves come in at night. That way they can sneak in when you least expect. Because it says, verse 3, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman, and they shall not escape." You see? And that's going to be most of these people. Most of these people that choose to live their lives in wickedness, choose to not get themselves right and choose to live in unrighteousness, as it says in the scriptures. I believe that's also in, let me see. Is that First Thessalonians? That might be Second Thessalonians that I'm thinking of. I always mix it up too. Let's see what this is. Yep. Yeah, let me see. Okay, this is it. Yep. 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 Yeah. So I'm gonna start at Second Thessalonians chapter 2, in verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." Right? And that brightness is gonna come with a lot of destruction, right? Even in that I don't know if that was First Thessalonians or if that was this. Let me see. Yeah, in the first chapter, right, verse 8, "And flaming fire taking vengeance on them that know not God, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ." Right. But here, keeping it to the point, right, they gonna be the ones to be destroyed within that brightness, right? They gonna be destroyed with the flaming fire that's gonna be brought down through the Lord's angels, the chariots, you know. And on top of that, the elect, when they get changed, right, being made eternal, getting the spiritual powers. But continuing out the point, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, and dumb that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. You see, it says, and for this cause, God shall send dumb, strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, right? Thinking shit like this is a non-emergency. It says that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. You see, that's going to be those who get caught up in this. You know, those that's going to have to deal with this because they were in a state of peace and safety, thinking shit sweet. You know, you thinking you good, much as just living in lasciviousness, looking to just live after the flesh. You live after the flesh, you're gonna die. You live after the flesh, you allowing your flesh and Satan who plagues the flesh having a way with you. That's exactly what you're gonna see, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. You know? So that's pretty much it. We're meant to be too long winded, but you know, the Lord's word, you know, is really manifested. And I was just a quick spiritual sign, you know, an example of the Lord's word. I'm gonna read it again and end it here. Amos 5 and verse 19 says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. them bears is ready, you know. They looking at you on, you know, human ankle knuckles. You know what I'm saying? And all kind of femurs. It says, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. You know? What is your end? Right? That's why we take the time now to get ourselves on point. You know, focus on how the righteous is to be saved. Right? So that way you could be of the righteous. That way you so-called blacks, Negroes, Latinos, and the American Indians could be of the righteous because you are the Hebrew Israelites. You are who the Lord has come back to save. Those of you that repent, turn back, and change your ways to fit holiness, fit righteousness, right, and to uphold that standard, right. Uphold the Lord's wisdom and knowledge, because the Lord's wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of these times. You know, that's going to be the strength of our salvation. So trust in the Lord's word, turn back to His ways, turn back to our true culture, which is this word, right? When you read that the heritage, the culture that's within the scriptures of the Israelites, that's our true history, our true heritage, right? That's our culture, not this captivity plague full of darkness as culture. If they call hip hop culture, called black culture. We not black, you know, nor is the so-called white man white, right? We different shades of brown, while they a slew of different shades of red. But it ain't about color. It's about the spirit and the seed that you come from, you know? Coming from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, i.e. also Israel, right? And having the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua within you. So that's pretty much the point. Lord on this better find with them and give all the praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Yahweh Kakwadash. Keep your eyes peeled, you know, and continue to keep striving for you to you know, make it and receive that salvation. So call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Yahweh Kakwadash, Shalom.